welcome back to another video. I hope you've been keeping so very well. I'm really excited for today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you a week of vegan lunch ideas. Now for this video, I also really wanted to focus on making a lot of quick and easy meals as well, because I understand that a lot of us are super busy and sometimes it can be really overwhelming trying to think of something to make that is going to make us feel really nourished as well. So this is a week of vegan lunch ideas that you can make in 20 minutes or less. So to make these super quick and simple noodles, you want to start by cutting up some of your favorite veggies that you like to put in a stir fry. So for me, this is capsicum and carrot, but I also sometimes like to add some broccoli or some red onion. And you can also do tofu or tempeh if you would like some protein in this as well. So I add in my veggies into my frying pan and fry them up in a little bit of oil. And then I make my sauce, which is just some soy sauce as well as some rice wine vinegar, as well as some fresh lime juice and some coconut sugar, which I mix together until well combined. Then I am putting some noodles on to boil. They only need a few minutes, and once again you can use whichever noodles you would like to. Once they are all cooked, I then drain them and then put them in with my veggies, fry them up for a little bit before adding in that sauce, which is very, very quick and easy to do. Then I transfer this into a bowl. I top it with some spring onions because I love having spring onions with my noodles, as well as some crushed peanuts and some lime on the side. I'm squeezing this on top and enjoying these noodles very, very much so. They are super easy and super delicious. This tempeh and leek dish is one of my favorite things to eat at the moment. I love it so much, and to make it I start by cutting up a leek, making sure to cut it quite finely, and then also cutting up my tempeh. You could do tofu if you don't like tempeh though. I make sure I'm washing my leeks well because it can often get dirt in between all of the different parts of it. And then into a bowl I'm putting some rice bran oil as well as some soy sauce. Then I'm also adding in some teriyaki marinade, as well as a little bit of maple syrup, some garlic powder and some onion powder. And I am mixing this all together, and this is our marinade that is going to be so delicious. So I pop my tempeh in here and I just let it soak for a few minutes, get it nice and well coated, and then transfer into my frying pan, leaving the rest of the sauce in that bowl and setting it to the side. So I'm frying up my tempeh for a few minutes and then also putting some rice on to cook. If you wanted to make this an even quicker meal, you could use microwavable rice as well if that's your thing. Then into my frying pan I add in all of that leek that I'd washed, followed by the marinade that we had made, and start frying this all up. You want it on about a medium heat so that the leek and the tempeh continue frying but soaking up all of that delicious flavor. Then when it comes to serving, I start with a bed of that rice that I'd cooked, as well as this delicious caramelized teriyaki tempeh and leek, topping it with some spring onions, as well as some sesame seeds for a very delicious lunch. This teriyaki tempeh and leek is so delicious. If you try anything from this video, please make it this. And if you don't like tempeh, because I know a lot of people don't, then definitely try making it with tofu. It is so delicious. I'm gonna leave this recipe link down below if you want to check it out. And I also want to say a big thank you to my friends at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. As you may know, I have a website which is amandadux.com, and I have loads of delicious vegan recipes over there, as well as my ebook, which is a vegan sweet ebook. So I host and design my website using Squarespace, and I have done so for many, many years. I find it to be the most user-friendly platform, and honestly have never even considered not using it to host my website because it is literally that easy. In particular, I was so impressed when I was looking to release my ebook and I realized how good Squarespace's back-end commerce section is. It makes it so easy to track all of the orders that are coming in, and also just to set up the online store in general. So whether you're someone like me in the sense that wants to be sharing delicious recipes online or blog posts about different things, there are really great blogging features, but there are also really great features in order to sell products and services, whether they be physical products or digital products as well. So if you're ever looking to host or design your own website, you can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux and use my code AmandaDux. That will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. All right, I'll see you tomorrow for another delicious vegan lunch. This easy meal idea came to me recently when I was at the supermarket, and to make it we just start by cutting up our favorite vegetables that we like to have on pizza. So once again, this can be personal preference. I like zucchini, tomato and capsicum, and I slice them all finely, or honestly however you want them sliced on your pizza. Then I've got a couple of these store-bought pita breads, and I am topping them with some store-bought pizza sauce and spreading it evenly. Then I'm also grating on some vegan cheese. I do really enjoy vegan cheese. I know some people don't, and I find this one melts pretty well. So I put some of this on, followed by my veggies. So once again, yeah, I had some sliced zucchini, some sliced tomato, as well as some capsicum. And then I'm also going to drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil so that those veggies cook nice and well, and pop this in the oven. Then once they are done, they only take about 10 minutes. I just cut them up and then top them with some fresh rocket for a little bit of freshness with my lunch. And yeah, super delicious and a very, very simple lunch to make. If you've been around my YouTube channel for a while, you may be familiar with this style of recipe because I've been making creamy coconut lentils for years on end, and I am back in the swing of enjoying them lately. So to make them, it is very simple. I put some onion, garlic and some store-bought curry paste into my saucepan, fry it up, add in some coconut cream as well as some tinned tomatoes, and mix that together before adding in some brown lentils. I use the tinned brown lentils, which I drain and rinse. Then I add in some coconut sugar, some salt and some pepper, and I continue stirring this and allowing it to cook and for the lentils to soak up all of that flavor. Once it's thickened, as you can see, there's like quite a difference in texture from when you're first mixing it together. I serve with some rice as well as some coconut yogurt and some coriander for a very simple and hearty, delicious lunch. The hero of the wrap that we are making today are chickpeas, and so I start by putting them into a bowl with some olive oil, some harissa spice, as well as some garlic, onion and some veggie stock powder, and I toss this all together until the chickpeas are nice and well coated, and then I'm going to transfer them into a frying pan to fry them. You could use an air fryer if you'd like, or you can put them in the oven if you would like to. I just tend to cook on the stovetop most of the time, which might be pretty obvious at this point. So I fry these up until they are crispy, and then whilst that's happening, I combine some coconut yogurt as well as some dill and some spring onion in a bowl. I mix this all together to make this really nice creamy sauce that I'm gonna put on my wrap, which is just one of my favorite go-to sauces. I have one of these wrap breads, and then I put the coconut yogurt dipping sauce on, followed by some lettuce as well as some chopped cucumber. Then I also placed some tomato as well as the chickpeas that I had recently fried up. I also put some sweet chili sauce on here, but once again, this is something where you can really mix and match with what you like and what makes you feel good. And yeah, super yummy, easy wrap to make. Every now and again I go through a phase with caramelized onions, and I'm really in that phase right now, and so I'm kind of finding any reason to have caramelized onions on things, and I think they go perfectly on a burger. So to make the caramelized onions, I start by cutting them up, putting them into my saucepan with some oil, and frying them on medium heat for a little while before adding in some coconut sugar as well as some salt. Then I continue frying these up until they caramelize before I start serving them on a burger. So to make this, I just have a burger bun with the caramelized onions, added on some lettuce as well as a store-bought veggie patty, some vegan cheese, some cucumber, tomato, and some mayo with the burger bun on top. Vegan mayo, of course. I love getting store-bought veggie patties. I feel like they are so underrated. I'm really leaning into having them a lot more because this was a seriously delicious cafe-worthy lunch. These tomato chickpeas are honestly a game changer, and I feel like I'm about to go through a new obsession with them. I start by cutting up some brown onion and some garlic really finely, and then putting it into a frying pan with some oil and frying it up before adding in some tomato paste and continuing to fry that for a few minutes. Then I add in some harissa spice followed by my chickpeas, continue frying that up before adding in some tinned tomatoes and a little bit of salt, and just continuing to mix this for a few minutes. Whilst that's going, I also got some of this pita bread and I cut it into like triangle pieces, and I put this into my air fryer to get them nice and crispy, to have these crispy pieces of bread to serve with my tomato chickpeas. Once the chickpeas and the bread are done, I serve them both in a bowl. I also really like topping this with some coconut yogurt for some extra creaminess, and it makes for a really delicious lunch that honestly takes barely any time at all and makes me feel really nice and full as well. Alrighty, my beautiful friends, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed and you got a lot of yummy ideas from it. As always, thank you so much for being here and for supporting my YouTube channel. I will see you next week with another video. Have a beautiful day. Bye.